WikiLeaks exposing alarm over the president's public statements about Clinton's private email server. Jennifer Griffin with the Clinton campaign. Brett Baer in Washington, but we begin with Ed Henry and the latest WikiLeaks revelations. All right, Ed, round 18 of the Podesta emails, and President Obama now getting drawn deeper into this email scandal.
That's right, Shannon. This is breaking at this hour. New email from Cheryl Mills, March of 2015. The email controversy has really just exploded at that point as the campaign is beginning. And aides in the Clinton camp are telling Mills that the president has just done an interview claiming he learned about Clinton's personal email server from the news. Mills, of course, had been chief of staff at the State Department. She knew better, knew that was not completely true. So she wrote, quote, "We need to clean this up." He has emails from her. They do not say state.gov, meaning they were personal emails, and the president should have known better. Mills was reacting to this CBS interview where the president was asked specifically about the server and gave what could be interpreted as a legalistic answer by not revealing that he knew about personal email accounts. Watch.
Mr. President, when did you first learn that Hillary Clinton used an email system outside the U.S. government for official business while she was Secretary of State?
The same time everybody else learned it through news reports.
Well, remember why this is so significant. We previously learned that on March 4th, 2015, as a subpoena was being issued by Republican Trey Gowdy for all of Hillary Clinton's emails, John Podesta wrote Cheryl Mills about a special category of emails. Quote, "Think we should hold emails to and from the president. That's the heart of his executive privilege. We could get them to ask for that over at the White House. They may not care, but it seems like they will." Big stuff suggesting the president might have known more than he let on to the public.
Well, a new revelation each day, Ed, and another new set of emails suggesting that while they were downplaying all of this in public, John Podesta told colleagues it was a, quote, hot mess.
Yeah, same time period, March 2015. This is now a few days after Hillary Clinton's United Nations press conference. Word spreads that reporters are now hearing maybe Clinton is going to make some sort of news statement to clear all this up. This infuriates Clinton, who thinks her aides are leaking behind her back and making it all worse. Clinton advisor Philippe Reines jumps in, quote, "I'm sure this isn't news, but this is creating trust problems on her end." Jen Palmieri, the communications director, defends her loyalty and tells the group, quote, "told White House aide Eric Schultz he should call Philippe to help with prepping Josh Earnest," of course, the White House press secretary, for his briefing. Palmieri then tells Podesta, "I am telling you right now that if there's any hint of trust issues with me, I am not taking this job with the campaign." See below email from Philippe saying the leaks are creating trust issues for HRC. Podesta says, "Chill. Remember, the source of the email," meaning Philippe, who had been at the State Department, "got us in this hot mess." So much to digest there, but remember what was going on in March of 2015. Number one, the White House told us again and again, we're not for Hillary Clinton, we're not coordinating with the campaign, we're neutral with her and Bernie Sanders. They were actually coordinating about the message here. And secondly, they were telling us this is not a big deal, you're blowing it out of proportion. John Podesta, the chairman, was saying it's a hot mess, Shannon.
All right, Ed, we know you're digging every time we get a new batch, so thank you for the updates.
Good to see you.
You too. All right, for more on this now, Brett Baer, he anchors special report. All right, Brett, I got to think in just about any other campaign matchup, this would be so much trouble for the candidate who is connected to all these emails. Will it make a difference this time?
Well, we'll see. I think we've seen with these WikiLeaks that we cover it, a lot of the substance, and some other places do not. We'll see if this one breaks through. It does go to the thing that we have talked about numerous times, is the interaction between Secretary Clinton and President Obama, how many emails they sent between the two of them, and Ed played that soundbite from President Obama. There was actually another one where he said something similar. A couple of weeks ago, I went back and forth with Josh Earnest, the White House press secretary, on this, Shannon. I had asked Senator Kaine about this very question, about whether the president was, being truthful when he answered the way he answered, knowing he was emailing someone with not a .gov email. And Josh Earnest pointed back to a press conference he gave in March where he said many people expect that he's going to have these communications. He didn't know. It's not that he didn't know Secretary Clinton's email address. He did, but he was not aware of the details of how that email address and that server had been set up, or how Secretary Clinton and her team were planning to comply with the Federal Records Act. That's the issue, and obviously it's a security issue too.
And you mentioned that other soundbite. We've got that from 60 Minutes. Here's the president being asked about specifically the email server.
Did you know about Hillary Clinton's use of private email server?
No.
While she was Secretary of State?
No.
Do you think it posed a national security problem?
I don't think it posed a national security problem. I think that it was a mistake that she's acknowledged.
Okay, so again, he was asked about the email server, and yes, that would be different than knowing about the email, but you add up all of these conversations and statements that he's made to that effect, and it raises new questions about just how much coordination there was between the White House, between the Hillary Clinton campaign in addressing this issue.
Well, not only that, but between the Justice Department. They claim that there was no interaction between the Justice Department, but that statement he made to 60 Minutes was as the investigation into the email server and the classified emails on that server was just starting. Now, there's a security issue here. Josh Earnest says that the State Department and the intelligence community say there was no classified information between the president and the Secretary of State in those emails. But remember, James Comey, the FBI director, testified in Congress that her server was so unprotected, it was less protected than the average Gmail account. That's what he said under oath on Capitol Hill. Well, John Podesta had a Gmail account that was hacked. That's the reason we know that he called it a hot mess, that they were dealing with this email server. The president was emailing someone with a server that was less protected than Gmail, and he called it not a national security situation back in that 60 Minutes interview.